What's going on, y'all? Hey, a couple weeks ago we released a unboxing video for the new PreSonus HD8 interface. Hey, this week I'm going to tell you about my 5 favorite features of it. Don't go anywhere, let's get into it. Hey, if you're new to the channel, I'm Ray with Second Chance Rising. This is a channel that's more than just about our music, but about our ministry as well as our gear reviews and mixing tutorials. And this week we're taking a look at my 5 favorite features of the HD8 PreSonus Quantum interface that just came out. So one of the things that we've been doing is we've been moving from a setup from a 100% mixing and recording in the box to more of a hybrid setup. And one of the things, if you've been following the channel for a while, we were using a Studio Live 32 channel mixer interface, which has worked out really good up until I wanted to start using some of this hardware. Very difficult to figure out the routing in that, how to use it in interface mode and some other different things. Finally got one of their beta testers to help me, and I got the routing right, but I never could quite get it calibrated correctly using the XT Pipeline plugin. Support wasn't much help, and the forums, the guys tried to help a little bit, but a lot of them also said that they just never been able to figure it out either. So I'm saying all that to say this, that my number one thing that got me to switch from the Studio Live 32 to the Quantum HD8 in the first place is the amount of outputs and the ease of routing. So the Quantum 8 here has 8 inputs, obviously, and it has 10 outputs. So it's as simple as the routing is to having a 1/4 inch cable going out of, say, channel 5, for example, into a compressor, out of the compressor and back into the input of channel 5. So it's just that easy for the routing. I didn't have any problems as soon as I brought up XT Pipeline in the session. The calibration was almost nearly perfect. I think I did -1 dB on the send. So that's been working flawlessly. Very easy setup. Now I'm using 3 Quantum HD8s. It's giving me 24 inputs and 30 outputs. So once again, if you've watched the channel before, you know that we leave all of our drums, different guitar cabinets, bass, everything mic'd up, ready to go and ready to record. So that gives me plenty power. It's also in a lot smaller space. So feature number 2 that I like the most is that it actually has, on the interface itself, speaker or monitor switching. Now this has allowed me to get rid of our PreSonus central station, so I freed up one more space in my rack, which is important because with the new hardware gear that we're acquiring, space is becoming very precious to us. So one of the things that this does is I've used a set of monitors. Cali's on my desk itself. Then we've got another set of QSCs behind me. You maybe see one of them right there that we use from time to time as well. And so you can set that up in universal control switch. And as simple as this, basically you just hit the main button and it shows a speaker set that is switched to monitors B, and you can actually set that to a predetermined volume as well, and then you can just switch back to monitor 8, the main speakers on the desk. If you need more than that, you could use a headphone amp or something like that too if you wanted to, but really 2 monitor references for me for what we do as well as headphones is all that I need. So feature number 3 that I really like, we've got 2 headphones directly on the front of the interface. Now that's not a big deal to a lot of people, but what these are is you can have one actually set for your main mix, and you can set your other headphone to a separate mix, to a Q mix. It's right there on the front, which that also helps me eliminate that central station, which is where I was running my headphones out of. Now also, out of those 10 outs, or those 30 outs that I have, because we have 3 Quantum 8s, I'm able to run different headphone mixes into a headphone amplifier out to the band. We typically only have about 2 people usually recording at the same time in our studio setup because we don't have isolation booths. So that's usually plenty for us. But for a quick setup, I can use the 2 headphone outs on the front of one or one of the 3, and then we can have a main mix and a Q mix for each one of them, which allows us to also eliminate that central station again. Easy setup, really nice feature. Now, number 4 feature that I really liked that I didn't think was going to be too big a deal to me, and I thought that it was going to be maybe a little gimmicky, and that is the auto gain. I just didn't think I'd want to leave that up to the interface itself doing that. But as you can see here, I'm not going to go through the whole process here, but basically you just hit auto gain and you play the part. Drummer plays the part, guitar player plays the part, the vocalist, so forth and so on. And it gets you somewhere around -18, which is not bad. But I didn't think that was going to be that big of a deal. But I can go through that while the drummer's playing a part, do that auto gain on about 8 to 10 mics, maybe tweak it a little bit if I want to or if I need to. It usually gets me pretty close to the range that I need to be in. And that has really become a pretty big time saver. Pretty nice feature that I didn't think I was going to like, but for number 4, that's a great little feature. Now, feature number 5 is the reamping, and this is pretty cool. I'm not sure how much I'm going to use it, but this is for us guitar players or us people that don't want to commit to effects. But say you lay down a dry guitar part. Now, you can go out of the out here, right into a pedal board or another piece of analog gear, another effects change. Come back out of that into there and print that track, and you can play with the effects on your pedal board, say delays or reverbs or other different distortions or whatever that you want to do to get very, very creative on that. Dial that in, and then you can just print that track. And then you can have a dry signal and a wet signal with your effects, and you can blend those two. So there's lots of options there. I think that's going to be a pretty cool feature on this interface. I think it's something I'm really going to enjoy. You got a couple channels of that. Now the best thing is that occupies like channel 1 and 2 here. But on the back of the interface, I've already got other things that are plugged into those channels that I can use when I'm not doing the reamping. When I plug in the front to reamp something and do that, that bypasses whatever I have plugged in. So it's almost like you get 2 channels for the price of 1, so to speak. You can't use them at the same time, but I think that's a pretty cool feature. So if you've been on the fence about purchasing the new PreSonus HD8 Quantum interface, those are my 5 favorite features. Hopefully that maybe helps you make a decision whether this interface is right for you or if it's not. Hey, I hope that if you enjoyed this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that follow button, like this video. We're going to be talking about some more gear that we're changing around going to this hybrid setup. Hey, we love you. God loves you. Keep looking up. We'll see you on the next video.